It's been a day of demonstration on the streets of Accra. Hundreds of Ghanaians have been marching through the principal streets of the capital, clad in red, to protest the U.S.-Ghana military cooperation agreements ratified by Parliament last week. The protest was organized by the Ghana First Patriotic Front, aimed at piling pressure on government to back out of the deal, which has been criticized by majority of Ghanaians. Those are drone shots as early as 5 a.m. Many had converged at the Obra Spot and marched through the principal streets to the Hearts Park. Sight and sounds, and of course, the demonstrators were not restricted to the young. Both the young and the old from various opposition political parties participated. Here are some of them who have been explaining why they decided to join the protest.
Because the Akufo-Addo, they sell the Ghana $20 million. That is why.
Wait, because the Akufo-Addo is what?
They sell the Ghana $20 billion.
They said Akufo-Addo is selling Ghana $20 million.
$20 million from US. That is why I'm demonstrating today. I'm not happy. I'm not happy because the Kwame Nkrumah and so many others, they fight for Ghana. Why the Akufo-Addo they sell Ghana on 2018? They sell Ghana on $20 million. Because of $20 million, that's why Akufo-Addo sell Ghana. Why?
But you'd agree with me that, I mean, in the 21st century, countries are no longer living in isolation. You need to, cooperate with other countries. And America is actually a superpower. You cooperating with them, I mean, there are a lot of benefits to that,
No, there's no benefit in this country from US. I can't need any US, I can't need anything for US. That's simple. The Ghana, the God are blessing this country because the Ghana is mine. It's not mine. Or it's not for US. Just living for Ghana. Simple. Ghana first. All the parliament, they think about the Ghana first. It be simple.
But are you aware that the same agreement was signed, we are told, was signed in the year 1998 and then in 2015?
That 1998, the agreement is not for United States, based for Ghana. Exactly. That's simple. I'm finished.
If today Kwame Nkrumah happens to come alive again and ask me, what did I do when Ghana is being sold? I'll say I demonstrated, I played my part. You understand? You'll be happy with me. How about those who are home? This is very important.
Okay.
You understand?
Is that a message you got that Ghana is being sold?
Ghana is being sold like a whore, cheaply, like a goat. Can't you see it? You are a journalist, you know better than I do. So you can better explain it to me.
How much are they selling Ghana? Maybe you want to...
$20 million. Muchendi, he has called his finance minister. Other people, I say, Mumbla, they are two Ghana. Yeah.
And and that's why you demonstrate. That's what you demonstrate against.
My kids, I have a son, and I don't want my son to ask me, Dad, when this thing being sold, you understand? What did you do, Dad? And I'll tell son, I demonstrated. I vented my anger, both on social media and on the streets. So I've done my part. Yes.
No, a lot of people were not too happy with this, with the ratification of this this cooperation agreement. In fact, we had a group going to Parliament to go and protest the ratification. Our parliamentarians have ratified it now. Are you disappointed? Are you disenchanted in that decision?
See, we voted for incompetence and bootlickers because the person is my party. My party ideology comes first. My party's interest comes first. But the people in this nation, people who killed and voted for you.
Now let's talk to you. Now you have another term for it, but
it's a shit-holification. Shit-holification, not ratification.
That's what you're calling the cooperation agreement?
Of course.
Why are you calling it?
I'm calling it because it is bogus.
Why is it bogus? What makes it bogus?
It's bogus because Ghana is my country, Ghana is my motherland. If somebody offend me in Ghana, especially an American, I should be able to take him to court because that's why our court system are there. But per this shit-holification, Even if an American rape your wife, you cannot take him to court here unless US. How many Ghanaians have even passport? How many Ghanaians can boast of having passport? Not alone securing a visa. So it's totally bogus and shitification. I want to ask Trump, you want to build military base in a shithole? What are you talking about?
Now it has been rectified. What do you want government to do?
That is why I'm saying it's not rectification, it's shitholification.
Okay. 6,000 for the school textbook in school. Freedom. That is free education. It's not a free education, my brother. It's a lie. Nana is lying to us. Should leave us alone. Nana should leave us alone. We don't know that if you vote for Nana, this is the way you come and do us. If you know that is that, you won't vote for Nana. Nana said that submission. The Ghana people must take it. Must take this, must be lesson. Next time if somebody says submission, try me and see, you will run. You must run for that person. You understand?
But you know, this demonstration is not really about free senior high school. It's about the Ghana-US military cooperation agreement.
Yeah, that is the reason why he wants money to complete the free education. And we said that we don't want outside money to do a free education. The free education is constitution.
And how is the cooperation agreement going to provide money to fund the free
$20 million.
And you think the $20 million is going to be used?
The president doesn't care about that. The president doesn't care about that. He doesn't care. He won't care about that. He will try to take the $20 million because he want to do what? He said that you do free education. He wants Ghana people to know that you do free education. My brother, you people journalists, you know better than us. You know better than us. Journalists, you know better than us. Please, let us say in this country, we must be careful in this country. We must be careful because my daughter will come and live. How dare you go? But what of my children?
Because Ghana is going to sell to Americans. That's why
Ghana is what?
They want to sell Ghana to Americans.
They're going to sell Ghana to Americans?
Yes, they want to sell it to Americans.
Who told you that?
According to the agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much are they selling Ghana for?
$20 million.
Okay.
And even McLessen is even more than 20 million. McLessen is even more than 20 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you are part of this demonstration?
Exactly.
So you are resisting the sale of Ghana?
The sale of Ghana. What do you mean?
But tell me, a lot of, for those kicking against, this cooperation agreement, tell us, what do you think are the repercussions of this agreement?
The repercussions is a big problem for Ghana. Because for Americans to come here with ID card, without passport, in fact, it's very disaster. How can you, identify people who are coming into the country without passport? It's disaster. And somebody is saying that, they are coming here without paying any tax. Fine, that one maybe we can consider. But for you to say that, the person should come, you will search him, he's going out, you will search him. In fact,
tell us why you are part of this demonstration today.
Yes, I'm part of this because I believe in the sovereignty of Ghana. No amount of money should be able to buy the sovereignty of the people of Ghana. The people of the representative of the people in parliament should know that they are there for the people and not for themselves. They should be able to listen to the people, the views of the people. We say no to the selling of our sovereignty. Nana cannot sell the sovereignty of Ghana. He should think twice and go and review what he has said, because we are not agreeing to that.
Maxwell Agbagba there with some of the protesters. So at the Hearts Park in the heart of the city, the protesters converged to deliver solidarity messages.
is a demonstration that President Nana Akufo-Addo cannot take citizens for a ride. The Americans' presence here will give them access to our radio spectrum. What that means is that even when President Akufo-Addo is doing his lovey talk with Rebecca Addo, the nation of the United States of America will be able to monitor that conversation. From now on until the day that President Akufo-Addo realized that our independence is not for sale, we shall be on the street until we achieve that dream.
We are living in a shithole. Yes, we are living in a shithole. But we don't want American shit to fill our hole. No. We are saying America should take their America. We Ghanaians will take our Ghana. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? $20 million. What is $20 million? What is it? They should come and I will give them the $20 million. I have refused my $20 million. Now I am going to take $1 million and give it to my lawyers, and my lawyers will revert the case. Who lose? Not be them lose up. So Toboy, when NDC accepted Gitmo 2, they were saying that NDC has brought in Gitmo 2 and they were against it. Today, if the Americans can come with their aircraft, they will bring thousands of Gitmo 2 and we cannot say anything. Am I right? They will take away thousands of Gitmo 2 and we will not say anything. They will make our country a transit of terrorists. Can we live with terrorists in this country? They should come for the 20 million. I am ready to give it to them. Thank you very much.
Ghana, 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 say yeah. Ghana, 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 say yeah. Ghana, yeah. Ghana, yeah. Last year, at the inaugural speech, we were told to be citizens and not spectators. Today, we are proving that we are citizens. We will defend the constitution of this nation forever and ever. We will not allow people to use rules and funny tricks to deceive the people of Ghana. We know the content of this agreement, and any agreement that is for cooperation must be beneficial for all. If it is a true cooperation, why should people be looking for immunity in such a way that we cannot demand justice even in the international courts? Why should this not be executed before I came to Parliament for ratification? If we are looking out for Ghana, and we will not allow our sovereignty to be undermined by anybody. The people are saying that this is only a previous agreement. If you have made a mistake in the past with an agreement and you have a chance to correct it, must you repeat your mistake? We demand a renegotiation or removal of this agreement. We do not agree to it. We never agreed to this. Choboy! Choboy!
Hey! Hey! Before I proceed, in the progressive world, when we are fighting battles, some comrades will fall. But when they fall, we don't stop to bury them. We walk over their dead bodies and continue with the mission till victory is won. Then we come back to count the dead. Comrade Kwakwani Deho has been arrested. We did all we could to make sure that he will not be subjected to this brazen illegality. the enemies wanted this program to be thwarted. So we decided to leave him, continue with the battle, and when we win, nobody will keep Akufo-Addo anywhere. And so it was important for us to attend this function and make sure that we win. And when we win, it will be a vindication for the arrest of my deputy, Akufo-Addo. His fight wouldn't be in vain.
So that's how it all went down there. The demonstrations, of course, have come to an end today, but the organizers plan to replicate in other regions of Ghana. They will be here to tell us the next line of action after what they can call a successful protest in Accra. But let's have a very quick chat. In the studio with me is the convener of the Ghana First Patriotic Front. They are the organizers of this demonstration. Sir, you're welcome. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Gift.
Okay. What are your impressions so far?
Well, I must say that today has been a very, very hectic day. It was very difficult controlling the numbers. Yes, we obviously were expecting huge numbers, but I must confess that I didn't expect the numbers to be this huge. The turnout was very impressive, and as your cameras rightly captured, we saw young people, we saw the aged, we saw people from all walks of life who converged to demonstrate their anger against the government for entering into an agreement that they believe is not in their best interest.
You heard some of them explaining why they decided to join, if you like, the bandwagon. But they don't, do you get the impression that they really understood the reason, that they really understood the reason why they're fighting?
Well, it's about perspectives. I mean, for some of us, we're talking about sovereignty, but for somebody, the mere fact that it is a military base creates a certain aura of fear. So different perspectives.
But
it doesn't mean that they don't understand the reason why they are demonstrating.
I wanted to come. Hold on. I wanted to come in there because you mentioned military base, and that is something that we need to correct, because over and over again they've said that it is not a military base unless you have some a further explanation that we don't have.
When you check the definition of military base, the fundamental definition is that an establishment or access to certain facilities that the military uses. You can check it. What do you mean by it's not a military base? When you are even constructing a runway for them, it's not a military base. When they are importing their facilities and setting up, and they even have access to your radio spectrum, you think it's not a military base. People think that having a military base simply means, or is akin to building a branch of a police station somewhere. It doesn't necessarily mean. It doesn't necessarily mean that.
A lot more than what we're seeing in the document.
No, but a military base fundament, I don't agree, because you can check. I'm challenging you to check the definition of military base. Basically, the fact that you even have access to certain facilities and the fact that you have access to some restricted areas for use by the military is a military base, and that's what we are demonstrating against. And we think that it is not in the best interest of Ghana. But let me say that the Ghana First Patriotic Front, we are not anti-America or any of the superpowers, but we are just a group of selfless young men and women who believe that the interests of Ghana must be protected at all times. So the demonstration that you saw today, you saw the numbers. Lots of people came out to demonstrate their frustration and anger at this particular agreement. It's an indication that indeed lots of people are not happy with this particular agreement.
Well, we were talking about whether or not the people understood, and I wanted to find out if there was any attempt to, with this demonstration, help people to have a clarity about exactly what they're fighting for and what is detailed in the agreement.
We did. Our vans were in the marketplaces and lorry stations trying to educate the people. We had some flyers giving the people 10 reasons why we think that the deal or the agreement was bad. And so we did a lot of education. So people came out willingly. They came out by themselves in their numbers, because some way, somehow, they could relate with one or two of the articles or the arguments that we were raising. So as to why the people or the extent of their understanding, like I said, it has to do with perspectives. When you read the document, I read the same document, our understanding level of the same document may not be the same. So it's subjective, but I think that those who came out today in their numbers to demonstrate really understood why they were out there demonstrating, and they were out there because they believed that they wanted to fight to protect the national sovereignty of our country.
Very well. You talk about replicating this in other regions in the country. Give us a plan.
Yes, we certainly will replicate the demonstration and other mass actions in the other regions of Ghana, because we think that it's not just the people of Accra that must benefit from the kind of education that we are giving on this agreement, and also want to give the government an indication that it is a widespread condemnation and disagreement and disapproval for the agreement. So we'll do that in the other regions, and we believe that the turnout will even be greater than Greater Accra. Mind you, we had just about 3 days to plan this demonstration. A group that had no funding from any external sources, but were able to move on to lecture halls, go to the university campuses. Students who came there today came because we had our reps in their lecture halls trying to explain to them the ramifications of the deal. Market women were there today because we had our vans. We had to go to the lorry parks at the markets to explain to them the ramifications of the deal. So we'll do that. Giving some more time, I can tell you that when we move to any other region, you will see 10 times more than the number that
you have said already. What I'm seeking to get from you, Ms. Agbana, is what the plan is. Like, are you starting with, for instance, Kumasi, the Ashanti region? Are you starting with the Western region? How is it going to be like? Or you're still yet to firm it up?
We will firm it up as a group, depending on, one, our resources, two, our special area of interest. If we think that tomorrow we can organize a similar demonstration in the Eastern region and get the numbers, we'll do that. Okay. But the plan is that within the year, every region in Ghana would see this particular demonstration being replicated.
Is it sustainable, do you think? Very sustainable,
because we are getting the support of the people. Sustainable because the issue resonates with the people. Look, I can tell you that through this demonstration, organization for this demonstration, I realized that Ghanaians are very concerned about issues that borders on their security. And issues of national security must not be reduced to partisan colors, because when there is a terrorist attack in this country, you will not have the terrorists asking which political party you belong to or who you voted for before taking a decision whether to shoot you or not. These armed robbery set that we have now, even in this country, the armed robbers don't go about asking for political party cards before they carry out their operations. So issues of security must be debated with that nationalistic perspective. That's what we're preaching. Right. And we believe that because our message resonates with the people, it is sustainable to hold the demonstration even every day and still have the same number coming up.
I hear you, and I'm sure my viewers hear you as well. Speaking of which, who took over? Did the NDC take over your demonstration, or did you take over the NDC's demonstration? There were quite a number. Hold on, let me make my point. There were quite a number of them today. We saw quite a number. And you can say that, for example, Mahama Hassan Ayarga, for example, was there. But a lot of people have said that Ms. Ayarga is leaning towards the NDC. So who took over your demonstration?
No, I don't think that anybody took over the demonstration. You were fully in charge. And we wrote to all the political parties, inviting them, including the NPP. And they came. PPP sent a rep, the PNC was there, and APC was there, and many other political parties were present. I am sure that you think that the NDC took over because you probably know only NDC officials because they have been in government. If I ask you to name maybe the 10 executives of PNC, maybe you may not be in the position to do that. But I can tell you that many of them, no, every party sent reps that spoke. Okay. We had lots of groups. So minority had their deputy minority leader speaking on behalf of the minority, because a day before the demonstration, they endorsed it and expressed their commitment to join. Right. The NDC sent a rep, Johnson and said doing Ketia. He spoke on behalf of the party. PNC had Bernard Mona speaking on his behalf. Kwesi Pratt and many others passed through. So you cannot say that any political party took over the demonstration. We were fully in charge, and everything went as planned.
It was a question. Speaking of NPP, you said you invited them. Did they give you the response they were going to be a part of it?
They didn't give us a response like the other parties did. But we invited them, and we have that on record on any day.
Yesterday, they sent out a release about about the arrest, not about the arrest, about Mr. Anidoho. And in there somewhere, they mentioned you, and they mentioned the demonstration that was planned. What they said was that it is an NDC-sponsored demonstration. But you just mentioned here that you have no funding.
You don't expect the Minister of Information to come out and tell you that.
No, it was not the Ministry of Information. Let me clear this out. It was not from the Ministry of Information. There was one from the Ministry of Information. There was one from the NPP.
The one I saw was from the Ministry of Information, and he also mentioned that he believed that because the group had received endorsement from some members of the NDC, we were a pro-NDC group. But this is the point. We're raising genuine issues, and we're inviting the government to come. Let's debate the issues at that level. Okay. I don't think that the government even had the moral authority to brand or tag the demonstration as pro-NDC, because upon all their propaganda and everything that they engage in, we still got the numbers. This is a government that started telling people that our group is even being sponsored by terrorists and all of that. We clearly do not think that the government is going to be happy with us because we are opposing an agreement that they signed. But all I can tell you is that we are receiving the support of the people, the ordinary Ghanaian, and we are happy that indeed our message is resonating well with the people of Ghana.
In the meantime, let me find out from you whether you think the arrest of Mr. Anyodoho yesterday did any magic to your demonstration today.
We cannot link it to it in any way, because we did a lot of mobilization. Like I told you, we were in the market centers, we went to various places to get people to understand what the issues were so they could attend the demonstration. I don't think that the arrest of Mr. Akufo-Addo did any magic, because they are not linked in any way.
But how does your group feel about it?
Even the NPP played on the arrest of Mr. Akufo-Addo and sent out some falsehood, deceiving people that our demonstration has been called off.
How do you know? Do you have evidence that it was the NPP? I saw that the WhatsApp message. Hold on. I saw the Facebook message, but you have to. If you're saying that on this platform, we need to have evidence to back. Do you have evidence that it was sent from the NPP camp?
I know it is from the NPP.
Okay, I don't know. You need to prove to me and my viewers.
Because it is the NPP members that I know that were sharing it all over social media, and I don't know who else could have done that if not the NPP.
Okay. Well, tomorrow, what's going to happen tomorrow? We're still hoping that we'll hear some more of what's happening to Mr. Akufo-Addo. I don't know if you've heard anything and what your expectations are going forward.
Our primary concern is to get Ghanaians to understand that the deal that we entered, or the president and the government entered on our behalf, is not in the best interest. We do not want to have an opinion on Mr. Akufo-Addo and what he says.
You are championing a cause for which he joined you, and part of what that he was saying, he was talking about the Wednesday program, etc., which was a demonstration, and through that he got arrested. So it's quite close to you, isn't it?
He wasn't arrested because he expressed support for the demonstration.
No.
Per the police statement, he was arrested because they felt that he made some statements that they considered to be treason. I'm choosing my words carefully. So we cannot link his arrest to the demonstration. There were many other people that came for the demonstration. If the arrest was connected to the demonstration, I'm sure all of us would have been arrested today.
Not necessarily. And I'm asking because some people have called it a blot, you know, in free speech, for example. People have thought that this is not good enough because someone was speaking out about his views about, you know, this deal, and even though he perhaps didn't choose his words carefully, he's been arrested. So it was quite linked to what you're pushing for, isn't it?
Like I said,
and that's what I'm asking, what you feel, what your group feel about his arrest.
So like I said, we have been busy organizing people for this demonstration. We didn't have the time to follow issues around Mr. Akufo-Addo and his arrest. Right. I believe that at the right time we may have an opinion, but for now, as a group, we do not have an opinion on Mr. Akufo-Addo and his arrest.
Very well, Edem, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Edem Agbana here is the convener of the Ghana First Patriotic Front. They organized that demonstration, and they're looking to do more in the regions. They're looking to replicate this in the regions. They're actually hoping that they'll get even bigger numbers when they move in to the regions. You're still watching The Pulse with me.